Welcome to Daily Decode, the channel where we dig deeper into the stories making headlines, uncover the untold truths, and bring you the moments that everyone is talking about. If you want to stay ahead of the curve, make sure you hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and ring the notification bell so you never miss a beat. Now, let's dive into the jaw-dropping moment that unfolded live on television and sent shockwaves through the political world. Former President Donald Trump was left stunned and furious when Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett took to the airwaves and did what few have dared to do. She exposed details about Trump's marriage that many suspected but few ever spoke about in public. The result, Trump absolutely lost it, and the footage is already going viral. It all started during a live panel discussion where Jasmine Crockett was asked about the former president's recent remarks regarding family values, loyalty, and his repeated attempts to portray himself as the defender of American morals. Crockett, known for her fearless takedowns and sharp wit, didn't hesitate. She leaned forward, looked straight into the camera, and delivered a line that instantly ignited social media. She asked how someone who has been married 3 times, with affairs that are public knowledge, could preach about family values with a straight face. But it didn't end there. Crockett began laying out a timeline of Trump's marriages, the well-documented affairs, and the hush money payments that have made headlines for years. The anchors tried to interrupt, but she kept going. She highlighted how Trump's relationships have often overlapped, bringing up Ivana, Marla Maples, and Melania, and how each chapter in his marital history contradicts his claims of moral authority. As she spoke, the live feed cut to a split screen showing Trump, who was scheduled for a remote interview right after Crockett's segment. His face went from composed to visibly red as she mentioned the Stormy Daniels scandal and the Access Hollywood tape, pointing out that these incidents alone should have disqualified him from lecturing anyone about faithfulness or integrity. The panel was stunned into silence, but Crockett continued, referencing credible reports and court documents related to Trump's alleged infidelities and the infamous hush payments. She argued that hypocrisy at this level can't go unchecked, especially when it's being used as a political weapon against opponents who don't fit his narrative of so-called traditional family values. What happened next is what turned this moment into a viral sensation. As Crockett wrapped up, Trump couldn't contain himself. Before his interview even officially began, his mic was accidentally live, and viewers heard him shouting insults at Crockett, calling her a liar and a disgrace. But the audio didn't cut there. Trump's rant went on for nearly a minute, with him venting about how his legal team promised these stories were buried, ranting about disloyal aides leaking information, and accusing the network of setting him up. The host scrambled to cut the feed, but the damage was done. Millions were watching, and clips of Trump's meltdown were instantly shared across social media platforms. In the hours that followed, the story exploded. Hashtags like Crockett exposes Trump and Trump marriage meltdown began trending on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. Pundits on every major network replayed the moment, and commentators from both sides of the political spectrum weighed in. Supporters of Crockett praised her courage for speaking truth to power and exposing the hypocrisy, while Trump's defenders claimed it was a personal attack meant to distract from more important issues. Meanwhile, late-night comedians seized on the footage, with several opening their monologues by replaying Trump's rant in slow motion for comedic effect. But beyond the viral clips and the memes, this moment raises serious questions about political narratives in America. How does someone with such a well-documented history of infidelity and controversial behavior convince millions that they are the standard-bearer for family values? Crockett's takedown peeled back the layers of a persona, carefully crafted by Trump over decades of media manipulation. By using his own words, public records, and past interviews, she forced the conversation back onto the facts, instead of letting it stay in the realm of slogans and catchphrases. It's important to remember that Trump's marriages have been covered extensively by reputable journalists over the years. His affair with Marla Maples while still married to Ivana Trump was tabloid fodder in the 90s, and it eventually led to a highly publicized divorce. The infamous Vanity Fair interview where Maples declared her relationship with Trump as the best sex I've ever had was a headline that haunted Trump for years. Later, his marriage to Melania faced its own scrutiny when allegations of affairs with adult film star Stormy Daniels and former Playboy model Karen McDougal surfaced. These allegations led to multiple lawsuits, hush money deals, and even criminal investigations, some of which continue to this day. Yet, Trump has repeatedly brushed these stories aside, while positioning himself as the protector of America's moral fabric. That's why Crockett's fearless approach resonated so strongly with viewers. By refusing to mince words and laying everything out in plain language, she broke through the noise of partisan talking points and brought the conversation back to accountability. Political strategists on both sides have admitted privately that this moment could reshape the 2025 election cycle. Democrats see it as a rallying cry, proof that they have strong voices willing to confront hypocrisy head-on. Republicans worry that the footage of Trump's outburst, combined with renewed focus on his past scandals, could erode support among suburban voters and moderates who care about character. The moment also reminded many why live television is so unpredictable and powerful. Unlike pre-recorded speeches or social media videos, there's no safety net when the cameras are rolling. Live, Crockett's timing, delivery, and command of the facts made it impossible for Trump or the network to pivot away quickly. Every second of her statement was broadcast unfiltered to millions of viewers, creating a raw, unedited record of a powerful clash between a sitting congresswoman and a former president. And in an age of carefully curated media appearances, this kind of authenticity stands out like a lightning bolt. Journalists have since reported that Trump's team went into immediate damage control mode after the meltdown. Sources close to the former president described an emergency meeting where advisors debated whether he should apologize, double down, or try to pivot the conversation back to the economy or immigration. But with clips of the rant racking up tens of millions of views, it was clear that the story had already taken on a life of its own. Even some right-leaning outlets acknowledged the optics were bad, with one commentator admitting on air that Trump's response made him look rattled and unprepared. Meanwhile, Jasmine Crockett's popularity has soared. Her social media following exploded overnight, with thousands praising her bravery and directness. Political analysts noted that her performance could mark the start of a national profile far beyond her district. Several major Democratic donors have already hinted at their interest in supporting Crockett if she decides to run for a higher office, and political action committees have begun fundraising emails featuring her viral moment. Whether she intended it or not, Crockett has become a new face of the resistance to Trump's comeback attempt. For Trump, the incident is a reminder of how quickly old wounds can reopen. He spent years trying to rebrand himself as a statesman, an elder figure in the Republican Party, but the scandals from his past remain potent weapons for his critics. And as Crockett demonstrated, all it takes is one fearless voice to bring those stories roaring back into the spotlight. Political historians have already compared the moment to other famous live TV confrontations that changed the course of elections, from the Nixon-Kennedy debates to the 1988 vice presidential debate when Lloyd Bentsen delivered his iconic "You're no Jack Kennedy" line. In each case, a single exchange cut through months of campaign messaging and reshaped how voters saw the candidates. The big question now is what happens next. Will Trump's base rally around him even more tightly, viewing Crockett's comments as proof of a biased media and establishment out to get him? Or will the spectacle push undecided voters away, reminding them of the chaos that seemed to follow Trump throughout his time in office? Early polling in swing states suggests that reactions are mixed, with many voters saying they're exhausted by scandals and crave stability above all else. But no matter how the polls shift, there's no denying that Jasmine Crockett's moment has changed the conversation. Political reporters are already asking Republican leaders whether they support Trump's comments about Crockett or whether they believe his personal history undermines the party's message on family values. The awkward silences and evasive answers in those interviews have only fueled the story further, keeping it alive for days and likely weeks to come. As this story continues to unfold, Daily Decode will keep you updated with the latest developments, expert analysis, and exclusive interviews. We're committed to bringing you the truth, no matter who it makes uncomfortable, so don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and turn on notifications so you never miss a moment. Let us know in the comments what you think about Jasmine Crockett's bold move. Do you believe her calling out Trump's marital history was fair game, or do you